Hey, what's up everybody? This is CZG123 and this is Stories from Old New York City. Today's story involves pizza and meaty penis. If you like the story I'm about to tell, please don't forget to subscribe, follow, all that sweet stuff. Hit like, heart, whatever you do. So, I think it was on like 76 or 75th and Broadway. There was this great place known as Big Nick's Burger Joint or Pizza Joint. One side, I guess, was pizza, and the other side was burgers and everything else, like club sandwiches. This place was great. Big Nick himself was like usually there. It was like a big, I think, Greek dude who would just stand outside, very jovial. He knew everyone in the neighborhood. He knew all of us kids. Us kids would always go there during lunch breaks, and, you know, people would be wilding. But also, it's interesting to note, of a side note, they had a transgender waitress. And she was very sweet working at their place. And that was my first contact with a transgender. So I think it was a great experience for all of us to be there. You know, New York City is such a melting pot. And it wasn't a thing, you know? It was just like, that's how it was, you know? No one raised hell or anything about this waitress. And everyone treated her with respect. For the most part, you know, some kids will be kids. But so when you sat down at a table or a booth, you know those cardboard things that would, you know, show you the specials, or try this soup, try this. And it's like a cardboard triangle that sits on the table. Also on their walls, they would have like flyers for their different food, you know, to try. So there was a flyer in one of those box things that said, "Try Big Nick's Meaty Pizza." And so a couple of my buddies came up with the perfect prank. And one day, I don't know when they did it, but they did it when no one was there, obviously. But so all of us go in for lunch, and sure enough, on the flyers and on the things that are on the table, it reads, "Try Big Nick's Meaty Penis." And we lost our cool, our marbles. It was just such a beautiful prank. And then anyone who came in to that establishment would obviously see these flyers. Now, the flyers and everything else that was done, I think at one point had been taken down. I don't think they ever knew that it was, you know, my pals that did it. But man, I don't know how, I can't remember how long it was up. It was such a great laugh. And what made it really funny was that there was like a little caricature of Big Nick next to the Try Big Nick's Meaty Pizza. And it was like him walking, but taking like a big step, so his foot was prominent. Kind of like Mario, you know, how they have some images of like Mario from Mario Brothers, right? Like taking a step and he's got the huge... Anyways, in the caricature, this drawing of Big Nick, his big foot looks like it's his penis. It's like, it doesn't look like a foot, it looks like his penis. So it just worked perfectly with Try Big Nick's Meaty Penis. And I don't know if he himself ever saw it. And there were definitely times we were so crazy and rowdy that we would get kicked out, but we'd always come back the next day like it ain't a thing. But they also had another location, I think between Amsterdam and Columbus, known as Big Nick's 2, T-O-O. And they also had the same sort of stuff to serve, you know, pizza and burgers. But the one over there on Broadway was really, that was the place to go. And it was around the corner from like an old hostel, you know, youth hostel, a couple blocks away from the China Club and the Beacon Theater. A lot of people ate that burger joint at Big Nick's. So I don't even know if it still exists. It was definitely a landmark growing up for us in Old New York City. And yeah, that's a story. One of the greatest pranks, I feel, certainly ever played at Big Nick's Burger Joint.